I'm in my bag today. You try me and I'm on your ass today. I'm getting cash today. These niggas be capping like masquerades. I got a master play. My rebels gon' put on their mask today. Come up the faster way. We get to the money and blast away.
Well, you said 2 and 2, and I know you mentioned 5 children.
Right. CPS did not get my oldest daughter.
Okay.
My mom had already had her because she would often come and get her to take her on trips with her and my grandmother. That was another issue that I had going on. My kid's father didn't like the fact that my mom would always come and get my oldest daughter and left the other 4. I think one time she came and got all of them and took them out of town with her. But for the most part, it would always be my oldest daughter. So we fought about that a lot. That was, I mean, not in fight in the physical sense, because he never hit me or anything, but fought about that through words. So he felt like, why is Shayna getting so much more attention than the other 4? You know, because she have a different father. He just couldn't understand what that reason was. I really never understood. I was the type that I was very obedient towards my mom, and I never questioned her. You know, never did.
So, looking back in the time when you had to visit your children in these different houses, did they ever give you the opportunity to say, hey, if you go by these guidelines, or if you show us that, you know, because I'm not exactly sure how CPS and the stipulation work, but I know they do give people like up to a year and a half, or there's different timelines for different situations to get it together and get their children back. Did they give you that option?
They did. They did.
Okay.
Like I said, they wanted me to go to some kind of class I can't remember, it's been so long, but it was some kind of class I was supposed to go to, parenting class or something like that, and go to courts, and it was like, a long list of things. Like I said, it's been so long, I can't remember all the stuff, but it was a lot that I had to do. Once again, I was still homeless at this time. I don't think that I could have moved out of state back to my mom's house in Indiana and been back and forth like that to go to court cases for my kids. So I stayed in Milwaukee, stayed homeless for a while, until I ran across my sister, my half sister, and she let me stay with her and get on my feet, find a job, and get myself together. But by this time, that a year had passed. By this time, that's how long in between times that I went from homeless to finding my sister and her allowing me to come and stay with her. By this time, I asked my mom, would she adopt my kids? Because they were ready to be put up for adoption to the foster parents that they were living with. So I asked my mom, would she do that for me? And she did. She did.
And so she got all of the children.
She got all of them. She got the other 4.
Okay. Oh yeah, because you said those when you be with her often anyway. And so now your mom has the kids. You're getting yourself together, well, you know, working on it. You have a stable place. What is your relationship? Because now they're in Gary, so you don't have access to them as you did before. So what does your relationship start to look like at that point with the children?
I met my the next person that was in my life through my half-sister's husband. Yeah. So it's funny because he had the same type of problem I had after I got myself back together. He had the same addiction that I had prior. And there it went again. It clicked again. Back to the drug use. Yeah. Even though I kept a job, that's how I supported my habit. He worked as well. But it's like damn near every Friday payday, we was running to the drug house. I had stopped selling by this time, and it was just total get high, get high, get high. I felt like I didn't have nothing else to lose at this point. I'm like, I done lost everything. What the hell? So, yeah, I stayed with that and that person for like 12 years or more. Yeah, off and on with him. And it was crazy. It was crazy.
The relationship or just
The relationship, because
period?
it was now that I look back on it, it was based off of drugs because we shared the same
habit,
you know. And we both, I'm not trying to knock them, we both try to get off on our own. I've never been to a rehab in my life. He had multiple times. And my mom, and she used to say, there's no reason to go to rehab. It's all in your head. And that's what I went by. I went by that.
So it's safe to say you rehabilitated yourself.
Myself.
Okay, and what did that look like? When did you finally say, okay, enough is enough? This thing can no longer have power over me. I'm going to take control.
I want to say 12 years ago now. Yeah, it's been 12 years.
Did you just wake up one day?
I just said, I had...
What, was just like the breaking point?
It was like, I had been through so much doing the drugs. I started back, after I ended my relationship with the last one that I was just talking about, I went back to meeting people that sold drugs, and I incorporated myself with them, and I started selling again for them on my own and things like that. And it was ventured back into to using, but not as bad as the first time. You know, that was more like an upper for me to keep me going. I need that high to keep me going. And mind you, I would call home and check on the family. A lot of times I couldn't speak to the boys because they were out playing, but I could speak to my girls. And they always wanted me to come back home, but I knew they was in good hands. And the lifestyle, by this time, the lifestyle I was living still wasn't a good enough lifestyle for my kids to be in my life. And my mom had already adopted them. So there was no turning back from that, you know.
Did you ever get caught again? Like distributing?
I did. I wound up going to prison. I had a sentence of 1 to 4.
How much time did you actually?
I did less than a year. They let me out on parole, I'm sorry. And I did not complete the parole stipulations. So I wind up going back to finish my time that I had to serve. Yeah, it was crazy.
And how long after you had to go back? What was the rest of your remainder you had to do?
It was 4 months.
Okay,
4 months left. They offered me parole again, and I told them no. No, I'll just go ahead and do my little months and get it over with so I can be free at last.
And obviously during those times when you were in jail, you were obviously clean.
Of course.
So you had to understand and know that you could do it.
Right. But the difference with that is when you're forced to stop, you know what I'm saying? It's like force, whereas you can't get it. That's more what I'm trying to say. It's not in your reach. The clincher is being out, free, and able to say no. That's it. That's the key right there.
Again, like she said, your mother, it's really a mind.
Mind over matter.
Absolutely.
It took me a while to figure that out.
We out here swarming. We in this bitch, all the stress with the clique rebels playing that night. Shoot up shit till the morning. Niggas can't hate any time of the day, but we still getting paid. They gon' rain till it's pouring, storming. Everywhere we go.